you've also, not only dedicated your career, but you've built a company based off of reliability engineering. And I got to ask the question, working as a consultant now, what's the most common reason? What's the trigger point for people to reach out to you guys and say, hey, we would love to have a reliability consultant come to us? What typically happens? What do people realize right before they realize they need to call you guys?
Well, unfortunately, about a third of my clients call when they're heading towards bankruptcy because their product's just a disaster in the field, and they go, oops, we should have paid attention to that.
Mm.
Yeah, and some of those companies make it and others don't. They get this, realization that they made some bad assumptions, or they, yeah, reliability's there, but it's too expensive or it'll take too long. And so they just say, well, we'll do our best. And they don't do due diligence as a minimum. And then they get surprised that it doesn't work, right? About a third of my clients are in that boat. Wow. About a third are folks that are looking at their program, their overall system of how they make those decisions, what information they have, what tools they're using, and they recognize that they could do better. They say, what we keep doing what we're doing and we keep getting this result, and we need to improve our reliability. What do we need to change, right? And so I get called in to do an assessment essentially and find out how an organization understands and makes decisions concerning reliability, what's working and what's not working, and so on. So about a third of my clients are at some stage in their programs, but have a realization they should be doing better. And so it's not probably just an opportunity. They recognize an opportunity there. And then about a third of my clients are, can you teach us about FMEA, or could you do this data analysis, or could you, do this specific task? And so they're very discrete little projects. And I'll go do stuff like that. The hardest ones are the ones that they shipped a product and half of them failed in 3 weeks, which is a true story for this one client I got. And they had enough money to try again, and they were able to launch again. They survived for about a year or so, but their brand identity was just gone. Wow. So they never recovered from that. And they made a very, very basic, so you remember Fitbit? I think they still sell Fitbit, right? There was a competitor to theirs, and they said, well, it's on your wrist, and you got to be able to use it anywhere and wear it in all day long. And you got to wash your hands, take a shower, go swimming, should be all right. How do we test that? How would you test that? If you're creating a little wristband thing, what would you do to figure out if it survived in the water?
You jump in.
That's right, right. Well, they went one step further. They went to Switzerland standards for watches, because watches come with like water resistant, 50-foot dive watch, things like that. And so they found a 50-foot, I think it was a 50-meter resistance, and put it in that deep of water for 30 seconds, pulled it out, shook the water off, and it was still working. It's good. What they didn't notice is that a week later, all of those samples were dead, because it took about a week for the water to create the corrosion, which shorted it out.
Wow.
And killed it. The watch standard is if there's any water inside of it, it's a failure. But they had no way of opening their product to see because it was molded. But water still gets in. And so they miss that key element of corrosion takes time to occur. And that's what water causes most often with a product. And yeah, they shipped, I think, 70,000 units and 50,000 failed in 2 weeks.
Wow. I mean, talk about impact on the business. When you oversight reliability, I mean, that's huge.
It is, but you realize that there's time to market pressures. We got to get out to the holiday events. I've got 3 new inventions to do today. I got to set up a supply chain. I got to set up a manufacturing line. I got to set up advertising. There's a lot to do when launching a product. And reliability isn't immediately visible like all those other things are. You either know you got the right packaging in-house or not. You can see it. But you don't really know if you got a reliable design until it really gets to your customer. And there's things we can do to poke into that and understand it. But there's a lot going on, and it's just one more thing on the long, long list of things that we have to do. Unfortunately, if it's not designed and manufactured well and it fails, there's not a lot of recovery from that. And so unfortunately, those are the ones that I know I can help if they have the ability in the market to recover.